Here's how you access the Black Canyon City lot of Desert Valley Auto Parts. It's a muddy morning. Supposedly this rain has moved on through. I think we made it. I'll have to double check the dates, but it's been easily over a year since the last time I came out here. And the inventory is sure to have changed quite a bit, so let's check it out. And we are checked in here at DVAP Black Canyon. I'm going to go ahead and use my microphone today. I'm glad I brought it because it is a little bit breezy, and I know in prior videos I've had to deal with a lot of background wind noise that can be distracting and a little bit annoying for the viewer. I did just connect with the guy at the front office and said, you know, it's been definitely over a year since I was in here. Is there anything particularly new and exciting? I was kind of drawn to late 60s, early 70s Chevy stuff. He said he didn't have much, but on the Mopar side, he said there's definitely some cool stuff to see. Check this pace car out. Indianapolis 500 pace car from May of 1976. Got the T-tops. Unfortunately, it did rain today, so this car, look at that, you can see the fiberglass material in that spoiler. So this car did get wet inside last night, which is too bad. I'm not 100% sure how the lay of the land is going to work today as far as the way things are organized here, but we'll kind of just take a lap, spend as much time as we can today, and then work our way out. $2,900 would buy you this Ford Mustang 2. It's actually in pretty complete nice shape, and it was registered as recently as 2013. There's a Chevelle. Now, you don't see a lot of these lately. I know in my previous videos I've been asked for Chevelles and Mustangs. There's a Mustang, speaking of, and they don't pop up as much in here because it seems like they go to collectors and are quickly restored, as opposed to being resorted to a part out such as this. This is a really cool Electra 225. I like how you can see the four-door hardtop roofline here. And I've said this before in previous videos, but we're pretty lucky here in Arizona because our cars don't have huge rust issues other than kind of the surface condition that you see here on this Cutlass. That's a really cool Catalina station wagon. And I know I've done a bunch of videos on this place, so you can feel free to check back and look at some of the previous ones. But DVAP, or Desert Valley Auto Parts, originally came onto the map because of its appearance in a TV show series called Desert Car Kings. And it's been probably over a decade now since that was taken off the air, but that kind of put them on the map as far as the collector community goes. Now these guys don't let you come in with your own tools and kind of, what is a Bradley GT2? I don't even know what that is. And this car, this Chrysler, is basically just part of the brush here. It is completely overgrown with plants. Anyway, back to Desert Car Kings. So yeah, you can't come in here with tools and start wrenching on anything yourself. This might be the for sale lot, I'm guessing, because almost everything I've seen has had a price on it. That might explain why these cars are still very complete. But if you see something that you like in terms of parts, what they generally do is allow you to submit a request. They'll come out here and grab it for you and send it your way. Don't know anything about their price structure or inventory list, but chances are you or someone you know may have owned one of the cars that you'll see in this video and may want to reach out, so feel free. Desert Valley Auto Parts has 3 different locations, and each one caters to a specific year or genre of vehicle. So according to what I read online recently, this is the lot now dedicated to 1965 and later vehicles. And it took me about 45 or 50 minutes to get here from Phoenix. It's kind of tucked up here off the beaten path in a little town called Black Canyon City. Yeah, definitely some builder prospect cars here. These are all priced out, ready to go and ready to hopefully get put back on the road. Love this Lincoln. Let's go ahead and walk into the main portion of the lot, which has the parts cars, since these are more the runners and drivers or more complete versions. Now the fun begins, guys. So I wish I could collect comments and feedback in real time. Look at that Nova. That's about a 68, 69, like one that my dad used to have. Not much left of it. Anyway, feel free to post in the comments if you see something you particularly love, because I always like to read those and plan future trips back here to focus specifically on the vehicles that you all are most interested in. This hobby is so driven or geared toward nostalgia. I think that's why I'm such a fan of the classic car world, is because everything that you see here has a story to tell. It was at one point somebody's pride and joy and was proudly driven off the showroom floor, and later in life, look at this Oldsmobile, still has the keys in it. Now remember when GM keys had round ones for the trunk and square ones for the ignition? That was how my 1986 Celebrity was set up. It's even still got the Oldsmobile nameplate there. That is a 98, Oldsmobile 98 convertible. There's another one. One of the fun things is to look at the expiration dates on the license plates, because it'll give you an idea really how long these cars have been put to rest. Some really cool stuff usually that you can come across, like this Oldsmobile still has the factory or dealer installed maybe rubber floor mats with the logo there. There's an Oklahoma safety sticker from 1988. We'll try not to get too lost in here, but I'm going to take a little back alley here. See what we scrounge up. That would be a Buick with the triple portholes there on the front fenders. Cool to even see some original plates here. Another station wagon for you. There's a Thunderbird for you. Let's head on down this way. Checking out some Pontiacs here. Definitely feels like this lot is heavily geared toward the mid 60s to maybe late 70s stuff. Here we have a Chyler, C-H-Y-L-E-R. Love the taillights on that thing. And this Grandville, looks like it says Grandville, is pretty much sitting on the ground because it's just a front clip. There's another Grandville, and it's got a pretty custom dual exhaust setup down there. There's the front end of the Chrysler with the 1973 Arizona plate on it. Glad someone put a no crush on that old Camaro. Pretty crazy to look at the body on some of these. I mean, look how absolutely rust-free and pristine this thing is. A lot more 60s, 70s Camaro stuff here, and Firebird. Check out those graphics. That belongs more on a Radwood ride, 80s and 90s kind of thing. Couldn't have asked for a better weather day to do this. It did rain earlier, but now it's a nice cool breeze. I think I have the place mostly to myself, and it's cleared up a bit. You definitely can't do this in the heat of the summer here in Arizona because everything is just painfully hot to the touch, and just not a fun place to wander around. There's a Dodge Chrysler Sandwich. If nothing else, it speaks to the engineering that went into the roof there. I don't know how much that Dodge on top weighs, but to see it precariously just sitting there is kind of cool. What have we here? That is a Caprice Classic. Let's take a look inside this thing if we can. As with most Arizona cars, you'll see a high level of deterioration of dashes and the interiors just because the weather conditions are so brutal. But if you took a clean, rust-free Arizona body and combined it with a interior from another region, you might have yourself a good project. You do notice that a lot of these cars are the four-door version. This is a Bel Air 307. Wow, speaking of nasty interiors, you can see the foam just peeling away, and look at the seat in this. What have we here? This is an Impala, and the headliner is drooping. This has the makings of some kind of horror film. And somebody went to town on the back end here, harvesting some of the material here underneath the back window. It's tough to even know where to focus attention. I just kind of have a endless desire to walk around here. Now, that's interesting. This drive line is stored or punched straight through the windshield here. I don't know if someone did that intentionally or if it happened after the fact, but yikes. Let's cruise on back through here, this little alleyway. Looks like an El Camino there. There's a Chevelle Malibu SS hardtop. That's kind of a rare find, I would say. Something like that ought to get picked up and restored. Now that I'm kind of up on this hill, I was going to zoom out and give you, I should have brought my tripod in here to raise it up a bit, but I'll give you kind of a higher level overview of the property. It's a very peaceful place just to have all these hundreds of cars hibernating. I do get criticism sometimes from people who say, you walked right past a such and such, and insert model name here. Problem is, I might not have my eyeballs on the same thing that you do as I'm walking past it. And the whole point of this is for you to take from it what most interests you, and I'll provide commentary on the few things that interest me. I just spotted one right now. We've got to get a look at this Vista Cruiser with I've talked about these before, but I love this roof setup here with the glass panels here, and then two up front. That door's bashed in, probably not going to open. Should we inquire on this one? Also, what is that CS? I'm gonna say Cutlass something? Somebody out there is gonna know. This is a Grand Prix and it says all floors rusty, which I do see some corrosion here. And then down here on the bottom of the front fender it says Grand Prix model SJ. And they weren't kidding, it's pretty rough in there. Along the way you'll see that they have some displays crafted here, or stands, to house all the miscellaneous bumpers, hoods, other body parts. It may not look like it, but I'm guessing these guys have a really organized way of setting all this up, because you can imagine if somebody calls them and says, I need a front driver's side fender off a Cordoba, they got to know where to find it. Let's take a gander back through here just for kicks. Fury 3. There's a luxury car for you. That is a gold package equipped New Yorker. I thought this was kind of cool. Look at the headlight covers on this Chrysler. They're actual glass covers, because you can see this one's broken, but I've never seen that before. Kind of a cool feature. Can't say I've heard of a Dodge Royal Monaco. Here's the interior of the Royal Monaco. It says chronometer, but I think that's just an analog clock. Here's a good Nova section. This one's got Firebird, late model Firebird wheels, like probably 1980s. But these are pretty chopped up. This would be the 68 to 72 Nova body style. Some are in better shape than others. Oh my gosh. Some of the bumper stickers on these are hilarious. This one says, if you get any closer, introduce yourself. Here's some obscure stuff for you. There's a Vega. I can barely read the script there, but that says Camback. Look how clean the body on that thing is. And there's a Buick version of the same body. GM was always good at multi-way rebadges. Now check this thing out over here. In spirit of recently completed Halloween, that is one heck of a hearse right here. Let's go check it out. By the way, I don't know if you guys can hear this because I've got the mic on, but there are power lines overhead and you can hear them buzzing constantly. Cadillac shows 6,300 miles on the odometer. Looks like it's got a late model JSE high fidelity cassette tape deck. Wow, roof is gone. Wonder how many people this thing hauled. See, the roof looks like it used to have some kind of rubber or vinyl panel over it. Pontiac Sunbird. I didn't know they made those that long ago. Okay, we are now stepping into Cadillac country. Everybody knows the problem with these vinyl roofs is that they harbor moisture and eventually end up with a condition kind of like that. I want to get a closer look at that dash because I see some unique design language on the pattern there in this Eldorado. Look at how below the vent line here actually has a textured sort of design there. Well, that's kind of cool. Old TV set just camping out right here. I guess it goes with the whole motif of this place anyway. Those are very, very plush seats. Look at the added pillow layer here on the recliners. I like the dash design of that too. That one is a convertible. Remember how I said it rained today? Well, the water is pretty much pooling on the roof of this one. Moving on down here to what would be the southwest corner of the property. It looks like this is going to be all the trucks. And maybe an import over there. Oh, check that out. It's a little too new for this lot. Yeah, just a few old trucks and another Oldsmobile 98 hanging out down here. Very clean, Ford LTD. Oh, there's a little cat over there. Fleetwood sitting on the ground right here. And there's a roof that didn't fare so well when a vehicle was stacked on top of it. Rest in peace, Coupe de Ville. Derby car. Something tells me this one never made it to the Derby because it's still pretty darn nice. Now here's a little custom work on this four-door Cadillac. Someone installed an aftermarket sunroof over the back seat. Gotta love that. On this one you can get a glimpse of what was going on with the hideaway headlights. So there was basically just this panel here in front of the quad headlights. And what's interesting, I don't know if this panel insert, it must be factory because it's body colored and everything, but feels like there maybe on certain models might have been marker lamps there. These are very cool, sharp taillights. I'm pretty shocked that they still remain uncracked. And based on the one on the passenger side, it looks like there's supposed to be a chrome piece of trim on the outside edge of it. Another cool wagon. And then we have a Thunderbird with a trailer hitch on it. Let's take a look at this thing. I don't know if that seat's gonna support me if I sit in it, so I'm gonna just admire this from the outside, but you can see the gauge package here showing 78,532 miles. Check out the upholstery in this one. I like the plaid theme. Was it factory? Yeah, it could be. Old Pontiac. It's got a very cool driver-centric information cluster here. The shift indicator here is in the middle of the two screens. Push-button radio, air conditioning. Pretty nicely equipped car for its time. And a very rusty Catalina 400 station wagon. The upholstery in here looks pretty sweet. That door's jammed, but let's go get in the passenger side. Oh, look at that. There's a key in it. Yeah, pretty nice seats in here. Something you don't see on modern cars nowadays is a fuel filler neck here that would have been behind the license plate. This one's spray painted 70 Pontiac. Looks like the Arizona tag expired in 2001, so sheesh, what is that? Almost 23 years ago. That one took a very hard hit to the driver's side rear. I guess if nothing else, it shows you the durability of these all steel bodies. Not much for safety technology, but they were sure built like tanks. I like the vents in this Catalina. Oh, that one's disconnected, but actually that overall design reminds me a little bit of the RSX I had, that you kind of twist in and pivot the little circles with your fingers. That Chrysler 300 has a sticker from Cochise Motors in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Could very well have been an AZ car since new. It's a 300. We're missing the HUN there. But yeah, super clean. Let's hop in. Oh, the fender's hung up right there, but I'll give you a glimpse. Here we have a Lincoln Town Coupe. I recently wrote a story on one of these for ClassicCars.com. Actually, if you're into old stuff like this, you might want to follow my author page on there. I've been writing freelance for them since 2016. And it's a cool marketplace. They have something like 30,000 cars in the classified listings, and caters, I would say it's geared more toward pre-1985 kind of stuff, but I still get a kick out of it, especially because I learn about the cars and then I come up here, go to car shows and I actually know a little bit more about them. That one's still got an engine in it. So what have we here? This is a Mexican issue car, or at least spent some time there, because 1971 Tourist, and then 1983 from Naco, Sonora. Sonora is the Mexican state just south of Arizona. So if that Catalina could tell stories, it would probably have a lot to say. Another great taillight and bumper design. This is an Imperial, and the rear bumper actually extends upward and downward at the edges here, so it kind of frames the entire back end of the car. This handle treatment reminds me of a 80s Buick Park Avenue my grandmother had. This one's pretty complete, and the seat looks decent, so let's, oh, the seat is crunchy as hell. Okay, well, there's the gauge cluster for you. 120 mile an hour speedo. Look at the automatic climate control. I don't know if it's going to zoom there. It's kind of like a rotary style. And then we have separate controls for a rear fan and a rear heat, and a clock over there. Another, seems like a pretty well-equipped car. After all, I guess that's what the Imperial was anyway, right? It was a high-end Chrysler. Ooh, cool front end. Hideaway headlights. Unfortunately, though, some bad news there. I love the ribbed grille design on this Fury station wagon. Dash is kind of torn up. This is kind of interesting. It has this spoiler sort of thing grafted into it. Someone's going to have to tell me, but that's got to be aftermarket, the way that it's glued in here. Actually, I don't know. What is going on there, people? You've heard of God Bless America, but have you heard of Bless God America? I'm trying to figure out what that even means. Oh, that door's locked, but guess what? There's a little, can you see that placard? It says electric lock. Let's take a peek inside the New Yorker. Oh, nothing left of it. Kind of cool. There's the control for the flasher there at the bottom of the dash. Power disc brakes, it says. There's your parking brake here on the left. I like the original upholstery color. It looks like it was a blue vinyl, light blue vinyl. Got the little mid-seat placard there that says New Yorker on it. And a cool hardtop roofline. You can see if you lowered both windows here, you would have a cool silhouette. This car is being used for recycling storage. Going to wrap things up here shortly, but I did just have a really cool conversation with one of the two owners. Brian was his name, and he said, kind of in terms of how they source the cars or how they end up here, it's kind of just word of mouth. It's always been the same, and they'll have estates or, you know, big collections come about when someone passes away, or look at that, my boss is a Jewish carpenter. And like, for example, he said they had about 10 or more cars come from a local Phoenix collection, that the cars were kind of shoehorned, you know, for lack of a better word, really tightly. into this guy's backyard, and they ended up here. He said when they showed up, some of the trunks were absolutely chock full of parts. It was really, you know, a barn find in every sense of the word. And it would be pretty exciting to watch those kind of discoveries unfold. Shoot, maybe I should pitch my services as a dedicated DVAP YouTube resource, although I think they do have their own channel and probably do a lot better job than I do. Thought it was cool though that they just let you come in here. There's no admission fee, but it's just kind of fun to kick the tires and hang out. Time to head out. I guess I ended up way on the north end of the property. Wow, can't believe I missed this thing earlier. That is a pretty wicked ride for a pretty wicked individual. There's another gem. Wow, Pontiac 6-door. That's definitely got some custom work going on to it. Love that thing. It says it's a Stageway. Big old beastly thing. And that's going to be a wrap. Let's head on back home, and hope you enjoyed the walkthrough with me. It's a lot of fun to come out here. If you enjoyed it, let me know, and I'll plan a future trip. Thanks for watching.